Earn like a post Brickworld kitty.
Got to rally. We got to rally. I hear our good buddy Local is also not feeling well.
You know, that's what happens. We're like tigers in the wild. We are giving 1,000% energy, searching for our prey, meaning good Lego deals. And then once we are resting and we are done.
Yes.
And that's just that.
Good morning, good morning, good morning. There they are. Yes, it was a Duncan kind of day.
Oh man, the cold brew is bro. I didn't even make my own for the week yet, man. I'm struggling.
He's doing the thing.
How's everybody feeling? Whether you were at Brickworld or not, hopefully you were kept occupied while the majority of the Twitch streaming people were away debaucherying IRL. We had some quality entertainment while we were gone, but also not really like a lot of quality. I mean, now we got quality news, but that didn't happen even necessarily while we were away.
No, it's been fairly light on the overall, news front. We've had a few things. There are things that we just really haven't, because of Brickworld and whatnot, we haven't really had a chance to talk about, like the Lamborghini. We didn't even talk about the dually design on the Lambo with the double wheelbase on the back tires, how they had to add two separate wheels to make the thicker tire as opposed to creating its own element.
I have no idea what you're talking about.
So the white Lambo that's been released, right? I did the same thing that a lot of people looked at, and they looked at those back tires, which should be bigger and thicker and everything. And instead of creating its own new element for that, they just doubled up on the tires, and it looks like what they did with the freaking Tumbler Batmobile, right? And it just is ugly. It's just not a good look for that car, because you can see the separation in the tires, and that's, for a celebrated vehicle like the Lamborghini Countach should be, that was kind of a misstep, but we really haven't talked about it. And it kind of hit me when I was looking at topics and stuff like that for this week. I was like, oh yeah, the Lambo kind of dropped in the hands of reviewers and land members and stuff, and we haven't really discussed it yet. Not that we're discussing it today or anything, because it's there's other stuff I feel like more appropriate, but it was one of those things. I was like, oh yeah, we kind of did forget that. And then of course the Bumblebee from last week was an interesting topic of conversation, and still around the overall Lego community on what people are talking about. It's been interesting to see some responses from some of these newer sets that have been dropping. But Titanium Jace feeling better. Astro Canuck did a marathon of a stream yesterday. My God, it's been interesting watching everybody's recaps of Brickworld. Yesterday.
I love it. Now, I looked at everybody else's and I'm like, man, I am severely underprepared, and I almost want to go back and further acknowledge everybody, but also I don't want to beat a dead horse of everyone else talking about it, and then I talk about it twice and whatever. Go ahead.
I was the same way. I was like, you know what? There's a lot of Astro, Ace, AZ, Brooks Bricks, a lot of people doing kind of the slideshow thing and showing off their pictures and stuff like that. And I was like, we're gonna kind of, yesterday I was just like, I'm gonna kind of build my Lego, and just kind of as things pop into my head in this conversation, we're just gonna kind of roll with it and talk about it then, as opposed to one big dump of information kind of thing. And Let all the other professionals out there with their amazing pictures do that.
Roy, how are you verified on YouTube?
Roy with a check mark. Look at that. What does that even mean? What does that mean?
Roy doesn't do anything, and I don't even have a purple check mark on Twitch, and this guy has a check mark on YouTube.
How does it? I don't even know what a check mark does.
You need to have 100,000 subscribers, and he has 5.
Who does Roy know?
What? He goes to Brickworld one time, and he thinks he can play with the big guns. Huh?
Look at this guy.
He's got a firework video with 29 views. Now, I'm not here to disparage anybody. I want to put anybody down. But like, what?
Well, I will definitely be checking out Roy's channel here to figure out like what's the secret? What is the secret sauce, man? Amor's gonna do a 12-minute video or 12-minute stream later today that just basically is a 10-minute starting soon screen, and then he's gonna come on and go, Brickworld was rad, and then he's gonna raid out.
It might mean a verified name. I don't care. I'm still jealous, Roy. Still jealous.
It's just a verified name. Is that what it is?
I don't know.
Roy's kind of a big deal.
No idea. Dude, Roy and AZ Panay were the highlight of my Brickworld. The highlight. Because two separate reasons. One, Roy, I know from, obviously being in the community, but then went to Brick Fair, Virginia, very entrenched in that convention. And I'm like, Roy, you got to come out to Brickworld. He's like, we'll see. And he's not somebody that live streams or is necessarily friends with any of us like beforehand, right? He's not, like there's definitely like you'll see Amor, you, Ace, kind of a little scrunched up, right? But Roy barged right in and was like totally welcome as part of all of this Twitch collective, and it wasn't like the broadcasters over here and it was just like a perfect melting pot, and that's like what I love about
we adopt people.
Brickworld. Yeah, and he exemplified that vibe that I try very hard to foster in situations like that. So thank you, Roy, for stepping out of the comfort zone, being personable, and hanging out with everybody all weekend. AZ Panay, because she's a boss, and she is so much cooler than Carl. Like, so not cooler. That you're not cool, AZ, but your wife, like just, she's awesome. So, highlights of the weekend for me.
I could agree with both those things. I felt like that, we did that with the previous year with Matt Mellish. Like all of a sudden I realized I was walking around with Matt, even though he wasn't in the Twitch group.
Not yet. Not at the time.
Mean, at that point he wasn't like, but then obviously he made that, he kind of, he's still TikTok guy, but I definitely found myself walking around and having more conversations with him last year, and I was like just kind of getting to know him for the first time. Right. And it was, like I said, we just kind of adopt people that, that way. It's fun. I like that.
Yeah. And more of that for 2020. So you want to know something crazy? So I had the list of 60 people, to invite and had as part of the dinner this past year. Right.
Mm-hmm.
The joke has been like 100 people for that Giordano's meetup, whatever. I already came up with 40 people like that. So I'm like, no.
40 more people, you mean, on top of the 60? Yeah.
Yes. There's already 40 more people. I'm like, no.
I feel like baby steps, right? Like, I feel like we should do 100 and then in 2026.
The whole restaurant.
The whole restaurant. But, I feel like if you really put your mind to it, because here's the deal. Well, I'll talk about this here in a little bit, but I think with the amount of those slideshows and the conversations that we've been having in our little Twitch community, on top of what the other influencers have been showing on all of their social platforms, and the increase in attendance that we saw this year versus last year, I think it's going to take another giant leap forward. And I hope that, what's his name, Mark, is prepared, because he's got people out there singing the praises, and it's put your big boy pants on, because it's about to get rowdy. I feel like in 2025.
I forgot to mention to you, there's actually, I got a very interesting message from Brickworld that we have to go, if you have time after the show.
Yes,
about that stuff. Okay, cool.
Hey, guess what? It's time to start the show.
Okay, cool.
Yo, I don't know. I don't care how tired I am. I hear that that theme, and my blood starts pumping, and things start moving, and yeah, it gets rowdy, it gets exciting.
I move my way from the bed to take a cold shower back to the bed again. That's how I feel. Post convention mode.
Wait. You can stand a cold shower?
I want to increase my mental fortitude. So, yes.
That's impressive. I tried when we lost our water heater, I tried a cold shower, like kind of really for the first time. Like not a shower that like was just lukewarm, turned cold, whatever, like, because everybody else in the house used the hot water, but like actually sat down to try to jump into a cold shower. Wasn't happening. Not my toesies touched that water, and I was like a cat leaping for the ceiling, man. There was no freaking way I was doing that. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Z&B Live Unfiltered.
When are we going to start swearing on the show?
I missed, well, we're not edgy like Amish Ace. I missed our live studio audience. I miss our live studio audience. I like
live studio audience. We couldn't hear from the audience.
Yeah. Well, they couldn't hear us. We could hear them.
Oh, yeah.
Because there were, you do know that the speaker that we saw was active, and they turned it on the next day, right?
So I believe the issue was it could not wire into the board that either Sean or you had, or maybe that was a falsity. But like getting the signal out to the computer and then to the speaker that was directly behind this was not viable, or was it? And we just didn't know.
It's an audio cable. I could have made that work. The audio board has monitor outputs. So it's just audio jacks that come out of the speaker into the board.
You just made me significantly more mad than I was.
Where it was positioned would not have worked. So
you can pick up the speaker and move it in front of the thing.
Right. That's what we would need to have done, is picked it up, and it needed to be sat right in front of the like in front of the table, right in front of the stage, out towards the crowd, because it was pointed right. It would have been pointed right at our microphones, and feedback would have been an issue. But moving it and putting it right in front of the stage table would have worked, and it would have just been a simple cable that would have. I'm not
happy. I'm not happy at all.
Gadget next time.
So silly, as more and more says. We need some qualified professionals up in here.
So silly.
So
silly. But listen, we're back from Brickworld, and it was speaker or no speaker aside, it was freaking blast. But how are you feeling before we get into our Brickworld recap? Are you feeling okay? You feeling the post-con blues? Because that's kind of where I'm at right now.
I don't generally get post-con blues. I look forward to the next one, man, knowing that it's going to be bigger and better than last year through the help of everybody who makes it so special. Like, in recent years, I've gone to PAX, I've gone to all the different Comic-Cons locally or otherwise, including, TwitchCon, and Brickworld is my favorite convention. And my favorite convention to be hungover from. Now, obviously not hungover. I mean, just like hungover on like all the interactions I've had with people, the immaculate vibe, the way that everything played out. Like, this tired is an okay tired because of how awesome it made me feel to see everybody there. So I'm good. I'm like electric still. I might not look it. I might not sound it. I might not feel it, but I am electric. I'm ready to rock and roll.
Yeah, I get all of that. Like, it's not a hangover is the best possible way to kind of describe it, because you're go. You, especially somebody like Brian who's manning a booth, and having to be available to a man of the people, as he likes to say, kind of available to the people all day long, every single day, late nights, early mornings, and because of that go mentality, you don't get a chance to really do self-care. You don't get a chance to sleep as much as you need to. You don't get a chance to, as crazy as it sounds, you don't get a chance to drink as much water as you should.
Bro.
And so you do feel that hangover type of feeling after the fact, because your body is trying to recover from all of that. And I feel like, there needs to be a third book, Mr. Bricks O'Brien, Pro Gamer's Guide to Doing a Convention, or something along those lines of self-care during a convention, because you're so kind of schooled in convention. And, between TwitchCons and PAX and Brickworlds and all these other, things, you have a good knowledge of that. So I want to formally ask you, please, can we get a third book of how to do a convention? You can take the basic knowledges that you've put out there from how Pro Gamer's Guide to Healthy Habits, right? And how to make friends, mash them together, and we have our convention book.
So the pinnacle of book 2 is the Pro Gamers Guide crew going to BobCon to find friends and how to foster those friendships. So a convention's already part of the lore. However, as AZ Pinoy just said, the Triforce has to be complete. The Triforce of making cool things happen. In case you don't know, there are 3 parts of the Triforce necessary that are scattered across the multiverse that need to come together in order to make really cool things happen. There is time, energy, and money. And when those 3 forces come together, ladies, gentlemen, guys and girls, and everybody else out there, we have the Triforce of making cool stuff happen. Right now, the pieces are scattered. The pieces are scattered. But soon they will be brought back together for who knows what. It could be a book, it could be something else, but you'll just have to wait and see.
We're still waiting on our taxes book. So we were at Brickworld, and we had an amazing speaker or no speaker, had an amazing opportunity to produce this show live in front of an audience. And we had, Mr. Bricks O'Brien, we had an audience. Y'all showed up.
It was like y'all were
fire marshal was coming in saying, "Move your people."
Like y'all had the earpieces in, like you were listening to the Kentucky Derby in 1910, trying to make sure you heard every word that was spouted from us. Before we go any further, have to publicly thank and acknowledge the showrunner, Mr. Mark Larson and company, for allowing the Brick stage, a creator stage, whatever, the Brickworld stage, to happen in the first place, being a spot for everybody to utilize for their broadcast, whether it be a community panel, something like this, what we were doing there. This was a test. This was to see if it was positively acknowledged by the people, and lots of room to improve for sure, but we definitely made a splash and a good one. And instead of, any other reality, we have this one. So now we can make it even bigger and better for next year. So again, massive thank you to everybody who allowed that decision to move forward, and it's awesome. So that's it. That's
you could see, again, my only experience is last year. I had my first attendee experience was last year, and even the things that they, that you could see that they learned from last year to this year, simple stuff, right? Like taking, we had our fun friends at Bricker Builds last year, and they were like, you walked in the door and they were like front and center, had a giant booth. It was an amazing booth, but it literally blocked your view of the rest of the convention, right?
Yeah, I love them very much. Very, very, very much so. Not just as an ambassador, but like all the guys that are there. But yeah, as soon as you walk into a con, I don't want to get hit by like, hey, buy this stuff. I'm like, all right, so we'll just move it.
Well, just turning it so you have more of a lane into the overall convention, so you can see things and whatnot. They still had a nice prominent spotter and everything, but that alone helped open it up and made it feel larger almost, right? And it was
who else had a very prominent spot at the convention?
Amish Ace.
He did, actually. He did. His blacklit Heckadivers logo bouncing off of the metallic door that was behind it. Dude, he's like, how can I be as obnoxious as possible with my display? And bam, he does it, and it stuck out, and people love seeing it. So he did awesome.
Yeah, it was great. But no, seriously, Brian's booth, as soon as you walk in, off to the left, it became our unofficial hangout, which was kind of fun. Except for Brian, it wasn't fun because we kept blocking all of the masses amounts of people that wanted to come and visit. And all of a sudden, you would just hear Brian, "Can you move? Can you please get out of the way? Move on!"
Well, because y'all are talking about what you wanted to do for lunch, and then there's these kids trying to come up and build the mosaic, and I'm like, listen, everybody, unless you're here to build or man the booth, get out of here, skedaddle, Twitchies, go on. And no, go ahead.
We did the same thing at TwitchCon to Nick. We kind of made the Lego booth at TwitchCon our kind of unofficial meetup and hangout spot, and we're all just kind of sitting around, and that's where we are meeting people and everything. And all of a sudden, Nick like walks up to our big group as we're sitting there, and he goes, "Can you guys slide out of the way?" In the nicest possible Nick way that he can, right? And he's we're blocking the giant, glitch logo that he made for Twitch, and that he spent hours and hours making, right? We're just our group is just blocking. He's like, can you slide out of there? We're like, we are just yes. That's what
it's the two ways of handling the situation. So Nick very gently tells you to skedaddle. I tell you to get
out of the way. Can you move out of the way? Yeah. Just go file your taxes. Yeah, in the best Brian way possible. But yeah, your booth became the official spot.
Yeah, no, and I love that was the case. Like, there was nobody who said, "Oh, what is this book doing at a Lego convention?" It was met with like unbelievably positive responses. Kids and families could come up and build the mosaic and take a look at what Pro Gamer's Guide is. And like, I walked out with less stuff than what I brought. Actually, that's not true because I bought some Lego at the garage sale and whatever. But it was an overall net positive experience from the AFOL days to the public days. So again, a massive thank you to Mark for allowing that to happen and taking a chance on that. I think it was a good experience for everybody there. So Yeah, hopefully back next year, but we shall see. You gotta let these things simmer before we start putting new plans and initiatives for Brickworld Chicago or otherwise. So
no, I'm already making plans, baby. I'm already cooking. I'm already cooking.
I mean, I'm cooking, but I'm not presenting the information. We gotta put up a proposal.
I don't wait. I'm a bully the heck out of people. I said yesterday on my live Twitch stream, I said, I want a Twitch presence there like no other. I want to do a collaborative effort amongst the Twitch brick building people, right? And I want to see all of us get together and make we've done this before in the community, but not to this scope because the community was much smaller back then. I want to see habitats from all the different Lego Twitch folk as a nice big mock on a table display next year at Brickworld. I want us all getting together, collaborating together, and making our own individual spaces that represent us in our communities in a little habitat form, and making a little wall of Twitch for a table next year that says, hey, we are the Twitch brick building community. We are awesome. Come hang out with us. It's not just about YouTube. It's not just about Instagram, and it's not just about TikTok. There is another force out there that we can that you should be involved with. And I want to see that. The glug. Yeah, the glug. Let's be the glug.
Dude.
What a name. What a freaking name. But I'm excited like that. I walk away from something like that and I am inspired, and I am like, I get it. I get jazzed. I get enthused about doing something, about being, somebody there that's displaying something. And I felt that way last year. I didn't take the next step. This year I want to do that this year. I want everybody to join in and be a part of it. And we have been already talking about it with other people in the Twitch community that are not a part of the overall brick building community, right? That don't build Lego on Twitch. They play video games. But we've adopted these people into our communities, right? These are people, these are music streamers, these are game streamers, these are other makers and crafters streamers that we've adopted and pulled into our communities, and they hang out and they chill with us on a daily and weekly basis. I want to pull them out of the TwitchCon type of vibe, right? And say, you don't need to go to the TwitchCon in San Diego. You want to come to Brickworld Chicago. You would have come hang out with us here in our element. Get out of just that Twitch, mindset. Come hang out with us here, and maybe you can get inspired to be more creative in the world of Lego or something like that. So yeah, we're already working those people on Twitch.
It's not to disparage TwitchCon either. It's a very different vibe. Yeah. Like there's all like Brickworld has brought together, like, especially with that dinner at Giordano's, it was like 60 good people, and getting 60 good people, not that there's not great people at TwitchCon, but of a similar cut cloth together at TwitchCon is very challenging. I find like making that and pulling that off. So Brickworld, you end up finding more like-minded people way more easily, which if we are pulling our Twitch people to Brickworld, that's just going to enhance it even further and build it up even further. So I like this idea. And yeah, Mark Larson and team are not ready for the I want to call it global domination, but the power of the glug will be
power of the glug
ever present.
I'm telling you, they saw it this year from an attendee standpoint, right? They had a huge increase from last year to this year. And a lot of that had to do with just, I think, the overall influencer side of things. Getting the influencers from all across the web coming in and showcasing what Brickworld was about to their communities. And part of that was the Twitch group that did come in. We saw it in the photo that we took from last year to this year as a group photo. Man. And the amount of people grew substantially just from that. And we're already seeing it again. We're all across Twitch. Everybody's been doing their recaps and showing off their slideshows, of their adventures during the week and weekend in Chicago. And people were already having experiencing FOMO from the social posts that they were having during the event. Then they see it, in the after event, and people are already making plans. They're already starting to save their pennies, their nickels, their dimes, their quarters. They're putting them in their jar and saying, I want to be there next year. I want to be a part of that next year. So if they thought that they exploded from 2023 to 2024, wait until 2025. Get your big boy pants ready, because it's gonna blow up. And I think that they're gonna actually be turning people away at this point in 2025. So it's gonna be the hot ticket of the year of the convention brick building year. I feel like is going to be Brickworld Chicago. So get ready,
Yes,
get your tickets early, and get your favorite takeaway, favorite part before we move on from Brickworld, Mr. Bricks O'Brien.
It's always the people, and then the creations, seeing the unbelievable level of talent. The Super Smash Brothers collaborative was still my favorite of the bunch, other than this really cool Haunter build that was located kind of toward the back. I don't know if you remember seeing that. It was near like this big, I believe it was a Land Rover that won for best vehicle. It was like an all Technic and plated Haunter doing Shadow Ball, and I'm like, yeah, that's sick. I think it was done by Zane Builds. So very, very cool.
It's the same thing I said last year. I feel like I missed so much stuff on the build side. I was looking at some of these photos that people took. There was a giant cruise ship that was all Jurassic Parked out and everything. And apparently, I didn't even realize when I took the picture with the guy, but there was a guy walking around dressed as John Hammond from Jurassic Park. I ended up finding him at Portillo's, and as he was backing out of his parking spot, I had to like run up and knock on his window. Probably scared the crud out of him. But I was like, can I please get a picture with you? Just because I thought it was absolutely dope that he like had the Jurassic Park symbols on his minivan and had the cane and everything. I had no idea that he had a mock there, that he had this whole, I never saw that cruise ship. As giant of a display as this was, never saw it. That just shows how much stuff there is to look at Brickworld. So like you, my favorite takeaway from everything, it wasn't necessarily the plastic bricks. There was a lot of cool stuff to look at, but I look at this photo that was taken it was the kind of the last night really for most people. It was Saturday night, late at night. It was 11:30 midnight or something like that at night. And I look at that photo and I see the sea of our Twitch family.
Makes me very happy.
And that was it. That was my favorite part, and I've been asked that a few times, what was your favorite part of Brickworld? And it was that photo and just seeing everybody in it and everything. It was, there was a lot, like I said, there's a lot of cool stuff to look at, but that photo is what that's what I'm taking away. Like that's what I'm always going to remember. It's not going to be the particular display. It's that. And as an attendee, I think that's what your takeaway is. As a day pass person, you're definitely going to get down with all of the makes and mocks and all the builds and obviously meeting some of your favorite influencers there and stuff, because they're accessible, they're available to you guys if you just come for the day or the weekend. But as an attendee, it's revisiting with those friends and adopting new family. I love that part.
Let me put the final nail in this coffin before we probably stop talking about it, at least for a couple months here, as we are from Brickworld. A lot of times in life, people are concerned about getting the next Lego set, or what can I do to treat myself, or what should I do with my free time? Take it from me, a guy who never takes time off, a guy who is always thinking about the next thing. Make Brickworld a priority, not just because of the Lego, but because the way it will fill your emotional cup in a way that you can't conceive right now by being there. you have to take our word for it. Make it a priority. Make it the place you go for the year. I bet my life that you will not regret it.
Well said, Mr. Bricks O'Brien.
I did yell at Aaron too. It alerted everybody. Everybody was very mad.
Everybody yelled it the first time.
I screamed. I screamed. Aaron screamed at the top of my lungs when I saw her,
and she ran back home. I mean, I did too, but I was outside at least. She met me outside when we got there for the first time, so I was able to scream and yell outside.
Yeah, no, I did it indoors to make a point.
Yeah. Poor Aaron. We do have some brick news, some Lego news and notes that we should discuss.
I'm really mad, Zach.
We could literally talk about Brickworld this entire show, but why are you mad? Why are you
because
upset?
I'm gonna have to spend nearly $200 to get this white Darth Vader that looks absolutely clean, Zach. Clean. I love this Darth Vader so much. I love it.
I love everything about this set. I didn't think I would, whatever it was months ago when we heard this whole idea of a Dark Millennium Falcon and there might be this white Vader, and you're like, wait, what? What is this? What is going on? And then Lego and Disney dropped this Rebuild the Galaxy trailer, and I'm watching this trailer going, oh my God, this is brilliant. Star Wars basically in a Marvel what if scenario. But yet it from the trailer, it seems to make sense, like how they're doing it. And now now the Lego that's associated with it is all, making sense. But they finally dropped official images of the Dark Millennium Falcon, the Dark Falcon that's going to be released on
probably August
1st. Sorry, I was going to say July. August 1st. The show is September 13th. The show will debut on September 13th. There's actually two sets here that they dropped. The Dark Falcon is obviously the standout one for most people because of the minifig selection that you're going to get, and I think people are going to snatch. I think this thing's going to be hard to find. I think it's going to be snatched up. I think collectors are going to be snatching up multiples of these because it will feel very allegedly exclusive. I think it will be one of those things where people think that this is the only time we're going to see these figs, and in this scenario. But we're getting some pretty dope looking stuff. The Darth Vader obviously is a standout. One of the other standouts is the Jar Jar, the Sith Lord Jar Jar here. Darth Jar Jar is amazing. Beach Luke, come on, man. Beach Luke looks dope. I mean, he's got the whole mullet thing going on. He looks amazing. Bounty Hunter C-3PO, obviously great. They've pulled Darth Ray right out of the very last Star Wars sequel trilogy film, even complete with the double lightsaber thing. The set itself, amazing play set. It's designed very similar to the other currently available Millennium Falcon. It is 228 more pieces than the current Millennium Falcon. Obviously,
what's the retail price on this?
Retail price is $179.99 US. Okay. The current one available with like the Lando and all that stuff is $169.99. So price wise, very comparable to the current one that's out there, right? But you're going to get 228 more pieces plus all of these amazing minifigs that are coming with it. And my God, everything about this set is just screaming, buy me immediately. Like day one, buy me. Not even wait, but day one, August 1st, buy me. I cannot wait for this set.
I can't wait to see 10 years from now that 9-year-old making YouTube shorts saying, did you know that Lego came out with a Dark Millennium Falcon that goes for now $7,000 on eBay? Because why would they ever make a Dark Millennium Falcon? This is crazy. Because they would never, ever make something like this, ever. And the fact that it looks as unique as it does, it is awesome. The fact that there's a radar dish that looks kind of like the Death Star bouncing out that laser is super cool. And I don't know if they'll ever make stuff like this ever again. So if you want this and get it within the next year, it'll be here.
This and the other set that they're bringing out, basically it's like what we just saw at Brickworld. It feels like somebody's crazy mock idea, right? Like they dreamed it up in their brain and they said, not to again borrow from Marvel, but what if, right? And that's what we're getting with these two sets, and it's incredible. It's this. I can't wait to build this mashup of X-Wing and TIE Fighter. And I love that it's modular. Like you can literally take them apart. You can put them, you can build them like they're supposed to, right? You can display them as if they're supposed to be displayed, right? Or you can mash them up. You can take the wings off and pop them together. I can't wait to display this in a way. Get some nice stands and display them in a way where we see the TIE Fighter wings on the X-Wing, cockpit and vice versa. I can't wait to display it that way. What an amazing thing to have on display going forward. Because there are going to be those people out there going, that's a cool idea, not even realizing that you just built it from an instruction sheet from a official Lego set. Nothing about this looks official. Nothing. This is like Lego going, we're gonna throw some mock ideas out there. But these two sets, I can't wait. I cannot wait to add these to my collection and put them on display as a Star Wars fan. Look, we replaced gray bricks with black bricks. Look at this, fantastic. But it's just the overall the playability of it is great as well. Like it opened just like the other Millennium Falcon playset. The whole thing opens up and you've got the play features inside, and collectors are going crazy over these two things because of the unique nature of them. But don't forget, these are still kids' toys, and they both have amazing play features associated with them that Lego just knocked out of the park. Lego this next run of Star Wars sets play heavy, and they're killing it with the Star Destroyer that's coming out. This and the X-Wing and TIE Fighter mashup, they're killing it with the play sets right now.
What's the price point on the X-Wing TIE Fighter?
$109.99.
I was about to say it was like a cool thing to have a TIE Fighter and an X-Wing in one box. The price is a little much if you're like a kid trying to get both, but even on the front of the box, if you don't care about Rebuild the Galaxy, you still get access to both. So both of them for 110, I think is okay. So cool.
I mean, consider. I mean, I know you can get like the X-Wing now. You can try to find just the Luke X-Wing for cheaper. It's kind of on sale, these days and whatnot. But I mean, that was pretty much in line with what that was kind of running. And you're getting two. Yeah. You're getting a full play feature set. You can have your two ships that can battle it out, which is perfect. Again, play set, right? Kids play set, perfect. This is they're killing it with this, and again the Star Destroyer as well on top of all that. Oh my gosh, this is bravo. Like we're not shy about criticism when it's due. These two sets killed it. Well done. Well done, Lego. And I can't wait for the show. I'm so excited for the show. I think that's just going to be fun. And oh man, I'm very, very, very excited to see them dip their toes in this what if style of media here. The other thing that they're kind of dipping their toes into, and you covered a lot of this yesterday during the Nintendo Direct. But one of the things that they, kind of again pushed out was Lego Horizon. So the Horizon series was exclusive to Sony PlayStation, right? Why is this in a Nintendo Direct, Brian? Why are we seeing? Oh, we're boring Brian with the Horizon Lego. With the Horizon Lego. See, that was the way I felt about Nintendo Direct overall. Was a yawn fest, except for this. This was a nice.
Sorry to clear out the. No, that Nintendo Direct was legendary. You're wrong. This game, okay. Do you want the corporate answer? Or do you want like the personal, what I think answer for why this is on Nintendo Switch?
I would say I would like the corporate, and then I want your real thoughts.
Horizon as a franchise is meant for the teens, early 20s, so on and so forth, on PlayStation 4, PlayStation 5. Kids do not have a PlayStation 5, generally speaking. It is a $500 console that is very expensive components, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. What Lego did with the original Horizon Zero Dawn set, obviously, is a tall neck, very, you want to call it critically acclaimed Lego set, one of those, like, oh, you should get it even if you haven't played the game, whatever. But Lego is inherently a kid's toy. So clearly, there's some crossover where they're like, hey, as Sony, we want to introduce our original intellectual property known as Horizon to an audience that would respond well to it. We have a Lego set, we have this, and the gameplay style that this game is, which is why I was literally yawning, is a dungeon crawler. Going from one place to another, build up your base, get better weapons. Weapons do more damage as the numbers pop out of the characters. Dungeon, just like Minecraft Dungeons, Diablo, whatever. Minecraft Dungeons being a Microsoft thing, also on Nintendo Switch. So they are trying to get that younger audience to be invested in Horizon by having a game on Nintendo Switch, to have a repetitive dungeon crawler that kids can sink their time into and tie into more Horizon sets that they want to sell to kids. Do I think that's going to work? No. But that's just me. Personally, Horizon has always come out around the same time as a Zelda game, and I do not vibe with this game at all. The world, the characters, the story, the gameplay, the graphics, the aesthetic, it just doesn't mesh with me. I do not care at all. I do not care about any of the Lego sets. I don't have maybe I want that Aloy figure just for the sake of having the figure. I don't care about any of it. And the gameplay of what I'm seeing on Nintendo Switch makes me not want to play it even more. So I do not care at all.
Interesting. I always thought the original Lego set, the tall neck, was an interesting choice. Just property wise, like why? Like, it just kind of seemed like it came out of nowhere for them to do. But it is
because Sony used to have Sly Cooper, Crash Bandicoot, Jack and Daxter, Ratchet and Clank. These were all the original Sony properties that were not dark and brooding, shooting AKs, etc. And now this is their new, we're trying to have fun series, and along with that is Astrobot, which is actually really fun.
Astrobot's amazing.
Game, the Astrobot game looks unbelievable. Like, do you have a PlayStation 5?
Yeah. Astrobot, the original one that came with the PlayStation 5, is kind
it's
of like
unbelievable.
It's so fun. It's stupid fun.
Yeah, so now, like, that is their version of like a Mario or whatever, like a new rendition of a fun game. This, I'm just not. I can't emphasize how much I don't care about any of this at all.
It's interesting because, again, the set itself, the original tall neck set, very celebrated, right? And celebrated, as you pointed out, by people that even haven't played the game. Now, I've been holding on. I've had it forever since it came out. I've been holding off on building it until I have a chance to play the game. I've watched multiple playthroughs of this game, or both the games, but I'm holding off on building the set until I actually have full context by playing the game, right? So when they announced a Lego, version of this franchise, I thought, well, that's odd. But, then you start kind of drilling down into it, and you're like, okay, well, they these talks started back when they decided to make this Lego set. They said, well, okay, we're going to make this Lego set, but we also want to embrace our younger audience and create something that they can play, because the Horizon games on PlayStation 4 and PlayStation 5 are primarily, older, right? So they wanted to be able to embrace that younger audience and try to, bring them into the fold. So they did develop the game simultaneously between the multiple systems and said, okay, we are going to utilize things like the Joy-Con and whatnot and use it, for this thing. And but then also have the PlayStation version that uses its, technology and beautiful graphics and stuff, like that. That's been the biggest takeaway from this game. Early reviews and early gameplay, reviews, is that it's absolutely gorgeous. It's about
on PlayStation 5.
On
it's
PlayStation
gorgeous.
5.
On PlayStation 5, it's gonna run like dog water on Nintendo Switch. Dog water.
I feel like the graphics may be toned down a little bit on
Zach substantially
on
toned
the Switch,
down.
but that's a Nintendo problem. That Nintendo needs to get with the times, man. Nintendo needs to get with the times.
But, yeah, I mean, yes, yeah.
But because they have been developing the game it's not like they're porting it over. They're developing it for that system at the same time. So that's what they say, right? I think they're taking those hardware limitations under consideration, and they're going to somehow optimize it for that. I have faith.
Oh, Zachary.
I have faith in
it's a tale as old as time.
But here's the deal. I don't care, because I'm not getting it on
yeah, exactly.
on
right.
Nintendo Switch. If I want pretty gameplay, I'm playing on my
literally anywhere else
on my PlayStation 5. If I want portable
play it on
gameplay,
your iPhone.
Right.
Yes.
Exactly. It's about an 8-hour game from what I've been told. So it's not
what? No.
Yep.
So okay.
Yep. 8 hours.
No.
So I don't think it's going to I don't think it's going to be as trudge through the mud as what you think it's going to be.
Zach, this is a
story-wise, story gameplay-wise, I think you're at 8 hours. Now, you can take as much time as you want because of how buildable the world is. And they've set the buildable world in physical Lego form. So
it's a dungeon crawler meant to be replayed 7 times per level. So you dump 140 hours into it, but there's only an 8-hour game loop. There's going to be a kid that buys this for $20 on a Nintendo eShop sale, play it for an hour and be like, man, this game is dumb. I don't care about Aloy. I'm not buying the Lego set. So all of this effort, all of these hoops that you're just jumping through them. You're like bouncing off the trampoline, backflipping through this ring on fire with the seals bouncing the ball off their head. You can go whatever way you want to about it. It's gonna. It. Done. Not gonna happen.
Are they boxing up the Lego building as much as they boxed up in this game, as much as they boxed up the Lego building in Lego Fortnite? Or do you think it's going to be, did they learn from some of those mistakes?
Less, substantially less. So I think what they're going to do, they're going to have the main base of operation. You'll be able to upgrade it over time. You're not going to have customized Lego building. It'll be like, hey, you have level 1 of this house, and then you're going to add on all this stuff. You got to add on all this stuff. And then you're going to have this whole village in your hub area as you go out and explore and come back and add fuel to the fire. There's no Lego customization building within this system.
So blueprint style kind of vibe.
No, I don't even think blueprint style. I think like literally it's already predetermined. Like you walk up, you pay 20,000 studs for them to automatically put the building to the next level. You're not building it. It's just an animation swirling around, boom, comes together, and then there you go. I think that's all it is.
Yeah. And it's this is trust me, this is a kid's game. Like that's why they made this game. They wanted the Lego humor. They wanted to simplify the combat, right? They wanted to take some of because of the Lego humor, they're going to take some of the drama out of the game, the darkness out of the original series game. And then, your point is accurate. It's a partnership with Lego. Like they wanted to make this game Lego style and say, we want to bring kids in because we want to sell potentially more toys. Now, will this game launch with toys in the store? Probably not.
I think you're going to get your $400, what's it called?
No, you're not going to.
Yeah.
I don't think why would they do that when they didn't launch Fortnite with Lego Fortnite with anything?
Well, okay, I think let me correct myself. I think you're getting it. I think the not the saber jaw, what's it called? Oh, the big thing, freaking thing.
I know what you're talking about. Yeah.
Holy macaroni and cheese, dude! Not the lockjaw. What's it called?
Oh my god! It's too early.
Something. Yeah, it is.
I know what you're talking about. Anyway, move on.
Yeah, and also, like, I don't assume the gameplay loop is the same as Horizon. I think it's going to be the same as like a Minecraft Dungeons, going from your main hub out in a semi-repetitive track and coming back over and over and over and over again. Thunderjaw, thank you very much. Thunderjaw. I knew it was something like that.
Lightning jaw.
That's what I'm thinking of.
Rain jaw.
Rain jaw.
Earthquake jaw.
Right.
Tornado jaw. Yeah.
Metroid Prime 4, baby. That's the highlight of that direct. Anyways, we can move on. It's fine.
No release date yet, other than they're saying 2024. But I feel like it's going to end up doing what most Lego games do. I think there's going to be an initial surge of people that are curious about the particular Lego game, and then after that first week, it's going to, tank.
We're good.
It's interesting because they are putting so much effort and marketing behind it
They always do.
For it to just fall off. But hey, I'm still the guy waiting for Fortnite Lego sets that are still nowhere to be found, and not even nothing, just nothing
It's been,
out there.
8 months, whatever it is, almost a year.
It's just what the heck?
I can't
Lego?
explain it. I can't explain it.
What is happening? Like that?
I have no idea.
They have missed the boat on that so much. It's so fast. I don't get it. I just don't.
No idea, man. No excuse. Not even a poly bag. You could have put together one of those ragtag. Oh, here's a Lego set in a yellow box with a picture that we printed off in our corporate office. You could have done something like that. They didn't even do that yet. All right, whatever.
Yeah. Instead, we're getting more botanicals.
Hey, that's a W. That's a W. Hey,
you know what? I like these. I'm actually some of the botanicals. They're all pretty. Not some. All of them are pretty. All of them look amazing when they're done. The builds themselves, for me, and someone like my wife, as an example, who has tried to put these together, hates them just with a passion, because the builds are repetitive. The builds are boring, and the overall effort is not worth the final product in her mind. She wants them on display, does not want to touch the bricks to put them on display. That becomes my job. And I sit there and I put them together, and I am at the first time I build the first petal or flower or whatever included with them, I say, wow, that's an interesting parts usage idea here, to use that for this particular way to design this. But when I have to do it 17 more times, I'm over that freaking pink frog or what. You know what I mean? I'm done with it, right? These two new sets, the chrysanthemums and the plum blossom, are small enough to where I don't feel like it's going to be a bear to build. And I like that. I think that they nailed the overall size with these, and the price, $29.99, Brian, for both of these. That is amazing on the price for a nice little display piece that you can put up on a bookshelf that just adds a pop of color into your room for people like me that can't keep plants alive. Amazing. Still embraces the Lego brand, that I like to have throughout our house. but I don't feel like I'm going to be beating my head against a wall putting these two sets together. So I think these are a win for the botanical set. And they come, once again, they've moved away from just, the flowers with the stems. They're giving us a pot. They're giving us something, a container to actually put them in. So we're not trying to figure it out after the fact. And like, how do we, what do we put these in? What size do we need to make these things work? This is actually, once again, kind of a botanical win. You're not putting these in your house, are you?
I have nothing commentary-wise to add to this in a constructive or detrimental manner. You said it all. Literally no opinion.
No opinion. That's Mr. Bricks O'Brien. Brian, we need more. Listen, you've got to get some of the. You've got to replace some of those Mario Lego behind you with some freaking flowers, dude. You want to start inviting that spicy redhead over to your wonderful house. You got to soften it up a little bit with some flora out there.
Well, now that like the books are shipped out, I can like actually like assess what my situation is here. Granted, there are no plants. It looks kind of dead in here for like 7 months, but like now I can actually take the effort. I don't know if that will be part of it, but like I thought about getting some bamboo or some, I don't know.
Some chrysanthemums, some Lego chrysanthemums, maybe a couple of the plum blossoms. I mean, here's the thing. Like, if you really wanted to go all out and have a nice display, you could, at $30 per set, you could buy a couple of them and have them, nice bookends and different. This would look lovely in your bathroom, Brian.
Yes,
Lovely.
Because while I'm taking a honkin' number 2, I'm going to think, man, these chrysanthemums are really just doing it. They're just
nailing it. They're
just helping me feel at peace, man. Things are moving.
Have you
so much more
any of the
efficiently.
botanicals at all?
I bought the succulent, the little succulent plants when I went to Florida family vacation, and I bought them after being peer pressured by my cousin's wife to build them as a family activity, and everybody liked them. So I have a couple of them. So yeah, I've built them. They're cute.
That's where Lego is succeeding on these botanicals, is in the smaller form, right? Something that you're, like the tiny plants. It was a variety set, right? It was your variety box. It was your box of chocolates, where you weren't just building the same flower 27 times. It was, you were able to bounce around and build a few different things. That was incredible. And we did that with the succulents. Like, it was amazing to be able to build multiple versions of it. And it's when you're doing the same step over and over and over again on these flowers, that's when it gets a little repetitive, because of how big they're making them. They're starting to shrink these down, and I think those are fitting in with the overall Lego builder like myself, that likes all Lego as opposed to one specific theme. It softens that blow for somebody like me. Softens that blow for somebody like my wife that wants these sets but doesn't want the repetitive nature of the build in order to acquire them and display them. So things like I've said this before. I wanted to really zen out and enjoy the bonsai tree, but the more I was putting it together, the more I was like, I just want to get it done. Like, by the end of it, I was like, I just kind of want to get this done,
Yep.
And it felt that, we felt that same way putting, the other flower sets together. It's like, I just want to get it done, because I know it's going to look pretty when it's done. But right now I'm not, I'm kind of bored. Like, I'm not having the best of time right now. So shrinking these things down, making them more accessible for people at $30 per set, I think is a smart move by Lego on this. So not a day one for me, obviously not a day anything for you, but I think Lego did do a good job with these new botanical sets, and I think they're going to look really pretty on a shelf eventually. You know what I am super excited about is this new gift with purchase, though. This Jules Verne gift with purchase that's going to be released at a upcoming gift. They haven't announced yet what the stipulations are going to be with it, but we do have official images of this new Jules Verne gift with. But this thing is amazing looking. I love this kind of stuff, and we got a cute little Jules Verne minifig with it, and I'm freaking out over it, and I can't wait. And it's exciting and everything, and just the overall creativity of the set and everything. It's just absolutely incredible, and I cannot wait to spend even more money to acquire this set. This one will go fast. I feel like people are going to want to spend whatever threshold it's going to end up requiring to get the set.
Disney fans will want it because 20,000 Leagues Under the Sea.
I mean, true. Yeah, you've got that. I mean, around the world, and I mean, it celebrates everything. It's just, who already wants to mock this up and create micro scale DeLoreans, right? And put a micro scale DeLorean in there instead of the 20,000 Leagues Under the Sea ship, and then a flying DeLorean above, and then the train, right?
No, that'd be cool. Otherwise, yeah, no opinion on this one either, man. I got nothing for you. Sorry. No.
We're still waiting to see what the threshold is going to be. Obviously,
$229.
Is that the official?
No, I'm just blowing smoke.
But I think it's going to be over 200. That's what I think. I think for something like this, it's coming with a allegedly exclusive minifig like this Jules Verne. I think you're going to be.
I feel like that's like Ben Kenobi's face. That almost looks like it's close. It's really close.
It's close. They could have hodgepodged him together from other stuff.
He's exclusive. We've gotten this torso on Temple of Doom, Indiana Jones. We've gotten Obi-Wan's face before. This hairpiece is from Doctor Who. We have.
That's why we're always going to now use allegedly exclusive before we ever say that. Even with the Dark Falcon figs, every fig in there, that allegedly exclusive white Darth Vader. Who knows? Who knows?
But that's gonna get me. I'm gonna be a sucker for that white Vader. Sidebar. What always perplexed me back in 2012, they had the Arkham Asylum, and then it was a Mr. Freeze set came with a Arctic Batman, Freeze, and Aquaman, and the white Batman I thought was so cool, and thought it would always go for like a lot more money after it was retired and everything. People do not care at all about that minifigure, but it's all white Batman, and I'm like, this is sick. This is cool. Like, because you're used to seeing Batman, all dark and brooding and black and other variants, right? Same thing with that Vader. I'm like, this is like the coolest thing ever. So I want the set just for that. And you know how I feel about Star Wars. I'm like, I'm not about it, but I'm about that.
I felt that way with a lot of you just never know. You really just don't. When you look back at the Lego Movie stuff, right? Like the Harley Quinn from Lego Movie 2 from Apocalypseburg. Like who would have known that was going to be, the figure from that Lego Movie line that you had to have.
I have it sealed if anyone wants to trade. It's in the vault. I don't want it.
I'll trade you some crunchies for it.
Dude, I have plenty to keep this waistline intact. Trust me.
I tried some of these Canadian crunchies on the drive home from Brickworld, and I was not a fan. I was a little.
It's kind of like Butterfinger-esque. So if you're not a Butterfinger fan,
I'm a huge Butterfinger fan. It's something. I don't know. It was almost too rich or something. Like there was something going on with it. That toffee that toffee flavor was so powerful.
Yes, yeah, I like it.
And whatever was inside there, I think you pointed it out when you were talking about them during one of our mini nights there in the lobby of Brickworld. It's kind of unlike anything you've really tasted candy-wise before.
Yep.
And that's very true. Like, it wasn't anything that I had ever really felt like because like you said, Butterfinger, I don't know if I can compare it to like it's not Butterfinger. It's something else. Yeah. And I don't know. I got 2 bites into the full size one that you gave me. I got 2 bites in and I was kind of done. I was just like, I can't eat any more of this.
Yeah, I get that. I kind of feel the same way about Coffee Crisp. Like we have them locally here, so I didn't take any. I'm like, you can keep a case. You're good. And I took the crunchy. But I mean, I'm just I haven't dipped it in coffee, to be fair. I feel like that might be a different way of going about it. But
I actually in coffee?
Yeah, maybe. I don't know. I had a half a crunchy bar yesterday, and I'm like, yeah, this is really sweet. Like, it's not. I think like a Milky Way is like the sweetest you can possibly get. It's a chocolate with the caramel and the nougat and the whatever, and I'm like, this is an overload. So that's about half the level of sweetness, and I'm like, I'm good. So I'm gonna pace it out nicely. I feel like I thought I'd go through them all immediately, but no, I'm gonna.
I would rather have, instead of the bigger, like the crunchies. I feel like if it could be. You know how you go to the movie theater and you get the Butterfinger in the box and you have the little minis? Yeah. That might work better for somebody like me.
So Crunchy is available in a form called Crunchy Rocks, where it's like clusters of it with like the chocolate, and that stuff.
That could be good.
Addicting.
I could probably get down on that.
Yeah.
They
have them in Canada. They had them in Ireland. Yeah, they are delicious.
Who out there in YouTube land is getting hungry?
I am. I'm starving.
Speaking of YouTube, we are live every Wednesday, 10 a.m. Eastern time over on YouTube, later to be posted on all of your amazing podcast channels, Spotify podcast and Apple podcast. Mr. Bricks O'Brien's going to be live later on Wednesday in that partner push over on Twitch, and you'll catch me live later on Twitch on Thursday and Friday, as well as Monday and Tuesday, every day at 10 a.m. Eastern time. Thank you guys so much for being here. Mr. Bricks O'Brien, thank you so much for being here. I appreciate you. I appreciate our live studio audience from Brickworld, and of course our live audience here on YouTube. When we do this show live every Wednesday at 10 a.m. Eastern time. Do all the YouTubey things, subscribe, like, comment, share with your friends, do all the stuff. And until next time, everybody, we will see you guys later. Bye. Bye.